Welcome to Tablenauts. My name is Max.
I'm Doolin.
I'm Kenny.
And today we are here for the Hotness. But we're going to be trying to eat the entire thing. I didn't get what? I thought this was going to be easy. This was impromptu. Doolin called me. Hey man, you want to do an impromptu Hotness? Because I just made dinner for Emily and I, and we took one bite and we're like, oh my god, we got to get carry out.
Whatever you can't use as food, use to torture yourself later.
So rather than having 5 different levels of spicy, we just have one. But we're gonna be trying to eat the entire thing as we're sitting here.
Oh, I didn't know we were doing that.
Oh yeah, I just told you that.
I would have
right
poured
now.
a lot less into our bowls. It was way too spicy. I love gumbo.
Could just be really good.
Smell spicy?
Welcome to Board Game Geek Top 10 Hottest Games of March 2022. Number 10 today is...
Oh, you gotta take a bite first.
Alright, let's see.
Whoa, Doolin. Oh my gosh.
That's pretty hot.
Oh, I really thought today was gonna be so easy. Doolin, how did you think that this was dinner?
Did you take a whole thing of Tabasco and just dump it in here? 'Cause that's what it tastes like.
My daughter is yelling. I already have the hiccups. My daughter's yelling for me. Yes, Arya. I hear you. Doolin.
Do you see why we called you?
Doolin.
Remember, Emily calls me a wimp on this channel, and she thought it was too hot.
Yeah. I mean, did you look at the instructions and say, and confuse teaspoon for tablespoon?
Right?
It was more the there's this gumbo
I didn't
seasoning.
get what? I thought this was gonna be easy.
This gumbo seasoning shaker that when I tasted it halfway through, it felt kind of wimpy.
We haven't even talked about a board game.
And I dumped way too much. Yeah. Anyway, number 10
Doolin.
is greater than games from. Who's it by?
Greater than games. Well, it's not
Greater-
anymore. It's Nexus. Fabled Nexus. Holy crap, dude. I was talking mad crap before we started this.
Yeah,
This, I literally said this will be one of those episodes where we're just able to chill and talk about games. I'm not kidding. I'm not exaggerating when I say that's the hottest first bite of anything I've taken on the Hotness so far. Kenny, are you okay?
Okay, yeah.
I feel like I'm feeling it worse than you.
Yeah, I think you are.
I think you're feeling it worse than me.
Yeah, no.
I think I was just so unexpected. And I'm normally the calm and collected one in these videos.
Let's go to the game.
It's one of those weird co-op games where it's heavy, but if I'm gonna play a heavy game, I'd rather almost play almost like a campaign-based game or something where it's more than just a one-off. But
Okay.
yeah,
How many times have you played it?
a few times, so maybe
Okay.
any more.
Me too, mostly. I've only played it 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think I played it 4 times,
Oh, then I'll play it more than that, but...
and it's a game that I consistently just find really challenging, and the asymmetry and the way the game even the production quality is really nice. But I just love how much camaraderie it builds because of how difficult it is.
Yeah. It's one of those games that you feel like there's zero chance until you win.
Yeah, I think that the reason it's so high for me, though, is because it was the first game I had played that was co-op that was that difficult. I think that, it made me realize, oh, there's games like this out there. That's really cool.
Yeah.
And I probably need to play it a lot more for how high it is on my list.
Same, it's very high for me, and I haven't played it in a year and a half. Why are you
I
so
definitely
calm?
really like it.
I'm just taking it easy, One moment.
I'm
at a time.
just shocked.
I don't know how in the world we're gonna finish these bowls. There's
We're
zero
not.
chance.
I
that
literally,
can dog it.
I said, yeah, we're going to finish it. I just bring it on you. I thought this was going to be so easy.
starting
When we
on
get
first
to
bite.
number 7, I'm ditching and going to get water. I love Spirit Island. Great game. We haven't played it enough, but it's just one of those things that the difficulty combined with the accelerating power. I love a game where I get stronger as I go on. Cthulhu Death May Die, something like that. But halfway through the game, I'm just getting way better, getting these major power cards that allow me to bust open the map. It's one of those games that there's tons of spirits and tons of adversaries and difficulty levels, and just the amount and the breadth of the content in this game is just nuts. Okay, he's already taken the second bite. I'm too scared to take mine.
I'm taking 4.
We actually have quite a bit we can talk about for game number 9, which is, unsurprisingly, Lost Ruins of Arnak, still in the top 10 Board Game Geek Hotness.
These last 2 are just perpetually there.
They really
Spirit
are.
Island,
They
Lost
really
Ruins
are.
of Arnak are always close there. I think people just will love this forever. It's just It's just always there.
I had played Lost Ruins of Arnak once last time we talked about it on the Hotness. Since then, I've played it probably 4 or 5 times on BGA. You've played it twice.
Yeah.
How many times have you played Lost Ruins of Arnak?
Just mostly on BGA, so 3 or 4 times.
Okay, but you've played it a handful of times now. So when I first played this, when we first talked about it, I don't think my feelings have really changed all that much. And that's in 4 or 5 plays. And my feelings are still that it's a perfectly good game, but I am not excited about it in any way, shape, or form. When I'm taking my turns in Lost Ruins of Arnak, I'm really just going through the motions. Like, I don't feel like I have the motivation or the drive to figure it out. Like, I don't know. I'm obviously not very good at the game, but, like, nothing in this game really inspires me to dig deeper. It's kind of just, like, happening as it's on the table.
I think, like...
I wanted to talk before I took a second bite.
That's fair. I think the thing about Arnak, I think especially on BGA, is that, like, there's no connective tissue that kind of binds everything together. Everything just kind of feels like, I don't know, there's a theme there, but it doesn't really...
That's probably the smartest sentence that's been
uttered on Tablenauts.
Thank you, Kenny, for being a guest here and leading us in the right direction. I'm taking a much smaller bite round 2.
I just want to say,
I'm so scared.
About Lost Ruins of Arnak, I think both of these guys are wrong. I think that it's a great game. I sincerely...
You didn't even say much about it.
I sincerely enjoy it. I think that basically, the ultimate goal is what? To run up the track, right?
Victory points. No, see, that's the problem. Is that the ultimate goal?
That's where you score the most points.
Right. But is that a good thing or a bad thing? I don't think that's a good thing.
I think it's a good thing because that is where you're going to pour all your resources that you're collecting using everything else.
Right, but
you're buying cards to get more resources. You're going on missions to get more resources. All with the ultimate goal of scoring more points through the resources.
See, but that's one of my biggest complaints about Lost Ruins of Arnak is the focus on this silly track on the side of the map. I would be much more engaged in this game if it rewarded more of exploring and fighting the Guardians
I think it does,
than it did going up the tracks. I think if you spend most of your turns fighting the Guardians, you're going to lose compared to someone who just spends most of their turns going up the track. And that's what I don't like that disconnect on. I don't feel like an explorer. I don't feel like someone fighting Guardians and finding artifacts. I feel like a resource management game, and that's it. Like, the theme doesn't make any connection to me.
See, I might agree there. I don't necessarily... I went into this game expecting it to be trash, though.
Maybe it's just a matter of expectations.
I got taught by Drew, and I was like, okay, this game is going to be bad. Everything's going to be disconnected. Like, I shouldn't even pay attention to the theme. So I didn't pay attention to the theme. I just paid attention to this game that was a fun deck builder. Like, I loved the way that the cards worked and buying them. I loved the way I could go on missions to get more resources, but ultimately my goal was to win, and it was just to get the optimal path of resources up the track. And I liked it. I thought it was good. It also helped that I beat Drew on my first play ever. So
there you go.
But you know what? Dune Imperium is better.
I've never played Dune Imperium. You'll have a chance to talk about it.
Dan, you heard it here first. Not really. You've heard that a lot, I'm sure.
Oh, man. It's so hot.
Number 8.
Did you take a bite?
Nope. I'm doing my bites after my talking. I can't handle it.
No. This is half the reason people click. For me. Anyway. So you got to do what I do.
Why is it so bad?
So number 8.
Can I touch on this and say that it's actually really tasty, though?
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
It's really delicious. I'd love if you made this for us.
You don't have to say that just because I asked you because Max liked it.
It's just really freaking hot.
I think I could have made a really good combo if I had left a little bit of the spice out.
I'm not kidding. In that this is the most affected I've been by the Hotness so far.
I don't know, man.
Maybe like round 5 of some of these are worse. Like by number 8, this is easily the worst we've had it for me.
And it's just gonna say, keep going.
I think my daughter just dropped her pacifier down the stairs through the cat door. Okay, you all talk about Tiny Epic Dungeons. I'm gonna go get some water anyways.
Number 8, Tiny Epic Dungeons, which we had here. I have it. It came today.
Yeah, I have it too.
You got it too?
Yeah.
This game we played on the channel about a year ago. My first Tiny Epic game. But this game is a dungeon crawler. Rather complex dungeon crawler for such a tiny box.
It feels like you don't lose anything even though it's a small box. It feels like a legit dungeon crawler.
Absolutely.
But also very manageable compared to like some of the sprawling stuff like Descent or Gloomhaven.
Yeah, I love that about it too because I don't know about you, but my shelf is getting more and more full. So if I can have that great of an experience from such a tiny box, I'm very impressed. all that to be said, about the game, the difference between what we saw in the prototype versus the production copy is just phenomenal. The artwork is incredible. The minis are really, really nice to me.
Yeah, the minis are really nice.
Like, I was really impressed by how tiny those things were, and they were, like, very detailed. I just think this game is really well made, and if it's as cheap as the other ones, it's well worth your time. I can't recommend it enough. It's a good game.
Yeah, like, I think it's like almost like a good entry level dungeon crawler. Like, almost like an only family. It's pretty straightforward, which is nice. Like, a nice change of pace for how, like, dungeon crawlers, like, I think we'll probably see later on the Hotness, can typically go.
Absolutely. And speaking of the way they level up, I think most of it revolves around the items that you're looting. A lot of the times the items will just be named something, but then be of something else. And there'll be a set that you can collect, and if you have all of them, you're way more OP than you were if you just had one of them.
Yeah, cool bonuses.
It's good bonuses that as the game goes on. And I think there's leveling up in the game too, but I think most of it most of your character growth revolves around the items that you're collecting, which is nice. You have anything to say about the game before we move on?
Fun game. Excited to actually play the production copy.
Yeah. Did you order one too?
No.
No? How are you going to play them?
Oh, I don't know. I just figured I was going to play your copy.
Kenny has it too.
That's what I do most of my stuff
I'm
with, just play your games.
Of course. I think we all should take 3 bites.
3 bites?
Before we go into this
I think you
next
should
one.
mostly liquid too. That's where the Hotness is.
Like the very, very bottom?
Do this, squeegee it down.
Just squish all of the rice, like, liquid out. One?
See, I can't have Kenny coming on the channel and showing us up immediately.
I regret my decision.
The beans and rice do quite a bit to help.
Yeah, I think so.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Oh, you're right.
Number 7.
Don't scrape from the bottom.
On the Board Game Geek, March 2022 Hotness is Kingdoms Forlorn, Dragons, Devils, and Kings. Fellas, do we know much about this game at all?
No, keep talking.
It's a dungeon delve set in dark fantasy world.
With forgotten kingdoms and giant monsters. To my understanding, this is like... You okay?
Almost threw up.
This is kind of like Kingdom Death-esque. Like, I'm not saying it's the same. I don't know enough about this to make that kind of statement. But it's a solo operative dungeon delver for 1 to 4 players with a focus on loot. Kingdoms Forlorn focus on personal stories and short delves into the titular kingdoms. I don't know. Co-op dungeon dark fantasy game.
It's got minis. It's got acrylic standees.
The minis look awesome.
I mean, that's pretty nice.
Oh, here we go. The game pulls inspiration from dark fantasy titles like Dark Souls, Diablo, and Game of Thrones. Oh, their last project, Aeon Trespass Odyssey, so it's the same people that made Aeon Trespass Odyssey, has a very Kingdom Death feel with a lot of their own mix and adventure boards. So this is obviously not going to be the same because Aeon Trespass is far more Kingdom Death than this is. Aeon Trespass is very heavily Kingdom Death similar.
I got 1 bite.
Kenny,
1 bite that killed me.
stop showing us up, man.
You know, I know. You have still the hot sauce that Richard sent you still?
Yeah, I do. I have plenty of them.
Yeah, I you should take...
You want to dump some of that in?
Yeah, some of that in.
All right, I'll go get it.
It's hot, but I mean... You can do better, Doolin.
Really? Look, I just want you to know, if you've watched our Thanksgiving, like, we don't fake this stuff. Like, I was very calm and collected in Thanksgiving until, like, number 4 when it finally hit me. This is not easy. And I like spicy things. I very much enjoy spicy things.
level.
I didn't eat food for dinner, so maybe that helps.
Hey, dogs. Look, it's a party. You don't come for the Hotness for some calm, collected, like, well thought, put together statements or anything like that.
There's got to be panic and stress in your voice.
Yeah, and we're there. On to another game that we don't know a lot about. This is a game that is on Kickstarter right now, is it?
Cooperative game? Woo! Play that video.
So it's on GameFound. We'll just let him do the talking.
I'm dying, man.
This is the one I actually know the least about. Like, this is the thing I would say, like, why is this on the Hotness? Because I have not heard anything about it before.
Well, it's on GameFound right now, so, I mean, anything that's being crowdfunded typically gets a little bit of a preference on the Hotness list.
It looks really nice, though.
Yeah, no, it looks cool.
Comments, cool art.
Cooperative survival game, I believe.
Like, it looks like
I'm
really
in.
sprawling asymmetric map. I'm taking a bite.
I legitimately don't understand. I thought I was good with my Hotness, and you're over here just showing me up tenfold. You want to swap bowls? Do you think that might be the problem? Did you spike my bowl?
No.
I'm sweating.
See, I'm not sweating. Maybe you're just more composed than we are. Oh my gosh.
I will say Kenny a couple of times has cracked me up because he took the 3 bites from the bottom. He was like, I regret this. It made me laugh.
But he's still so collected compared to us. We look like
my
a bunch
face has
of
started to
idiots.
approach numb.
We just look like a bunch of fools.
I'll be
it's.
curious if it stays in the hotness, or if it's just like the first rush because it just.
I imagine it's just the first rush. It does look cool though, like no doubt about it.
Mythology.
It looks very cool. So
A lot of overhead though.
If you do know about Tindaya, let us know what you think about it because we don't know a whole lot about it. But from here on out, we still don't know a lot about everything.
We know a decent amount.
There's one more that I don't know anything about.
But we got jokes about it.
Kenny's time is now because
Oh yeah,
we've never played it. Either of us have never played
The
it.
better Arnak.
it's true. So Demon Imperium is the number 5 in the hotness, and it's a deck building worker placement game with some area control elements, based off the classic Herbert. I need you guys to fill in here. That guy who made the books. Based off.
I don't know. I've never read Dune.
The Dune Imperium is like
It's based off the Dune
it might be.
movies,
Has
books.
Zendaya and
Zendaya, yeah.
Yeah.
the guy with curly hair.
Zac Efron?
I don't know, but he's pretty hot. No, but he's hot too. That's not what it is. But yeah, so this is a very compelling game, at least in our like Discord and our YouTube segment of the world. There's a lot of polarizing opinions on whether it's better than Arnak or not. I'd say that from the majority of the cast, it seems that it is preferred.
I think so. I think it's a better game. Like I think it's like has like such like it feels tight. Like I think like that added area control element adds a lot to it.
So
there's a lot of tension.
the one thing I'm curious about with these games, these deck builder worker placement hybrids are pretty new, and they have just shot to the front and remained there since the beginning. Like if you look at Lost Ruins of Arnak, it is now moved up to the number 2 family game of all time, which I still think is egregious,
32.
and top 32 overall. Dune Imperium is the 16th overall game of all time, the 8th best thematic game of all time. These games just came out in 2020. Of all time, they've gone to the top and stayed at the top, and I do not understand. Like, do you think they'll remain there? It's what I'm curious about.
I don't think so. I
My
mean,
teeth are numb.
I think they're good, but I don't think they're 16.
Right.
Good, right?
And I shouldn't say, do you think they'll remain there forever? Because I don't expect any game in
No.
the top 10 to stay there forever. Stuff's going to change. But, something like Gloomhaven, or, some of the other games that have been there much longer, like War of the Ring and stuff like that just remains. Terra Mystica, Twilight Imperium, Terraform Mars, Brass Birmingham, that stuff has staying power for a long time. I feel like, I could be wrong, I feel like that these 2 games, Arnak and Dune Imperium, we got another year, if that, of them being in top 30.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they won't stay in top 50, top 100, but they to me seem way higher than they should be.
Yeah, and I think it's that combination of deck building work placement gets explored more. I think Endless Winter is coming out that have the same mechanics.
I'm curious to see what that one does because I've played Endless Winter. I thought it was much better than Arnak. Yeah. So, is that going to shoot up too? Are all 3 of these just going to immediately pop to the top 10? I don't understand.
I think, this is in the hotness right now because of the expansions that came out.
Right.
Arnak
the movie, too.
Yeah,
sure. But I do think that these games are just also kind of perpetually in the hotness because they're so popular that they generate so much discourse about them.
You okay, Doolin?
Oh, that last bite killed me, man. My teeth are shaking. Can I admit something?
Mm-hmm.
Before I came over here, I might have... I lied. I dumped maybe 2 tablespoons of a hot sauce in it. After I knew it was already spicy.
That makes more sense, at least. Yeah. There's no chance you make this for
I
watching you.
I really wanted you guys to go into this thinking it would just be like gumbo.
I did! I did!
It worked.
You saw the lead up to
me
this.
Though, right now. My nose is just pouring.
That's what I was curious. Were you trying to murder Emily? Because this is nuts for dinner time.
I will say though, it was very spicy before,
but this is way worse.
I'm starting to lose the ability to speak well.
I want to pivot back to number 9 and talk about Arnak real quick.
Okay.
You played it and you said you enjoyed it, and then you said, "I don't think I want to own it though." Does that still hold true?
Yes, it mainly because of my surroundings.
Yeah.
Like, the people I play with typically, I don't think would enjoy that kind of game. It's a little too thinky. It's a little too heavy. Not that it's even that heavy. It's just that type of game would be very new to them. I haven't even really taught my family deck building, and Emily's just now getting into that concept. And so I think we need to play a lot more of those before I'm ready to buy Almanac.
I feel pretty similarly though. Like I feel like it would be me and you. I'm really excited about one of these other games coming up on the list because I think that it's a very heavy game that I think both Danielle and I are really gonna enjoy. Oh my god.
My hands are shaking. It's that spicy right now. Oh my gosh.
Are you chewing it quite a bit or are you just swallowing?
I mean, I do chew my food, so.
Okay, number 4 is the second game from Unexpected Games, one of Doolin's favorite new publishers. This is called Voices in My Head. This is designed by Corey Konitska, who has designed some pretty major games before.
Games.
Like Battlestar Galactica, Twilight Imperium, Star Wars Imperial Assault, Eldritch Horror, Forbidden
Imperial
Stars,
Assault,
Star Wars Rebellion. He has a very big pedigree. Kind of joined up with Unexpected Games. I think he founded it. Like it's his own company essentially, and is trying some new things. His first game was
really
the Initiative. Okay. His first game was the Initiative, which has gone over incredibly well, especially for people like Jeff and James from Foster the Meatball and Doolin, like in love with that game.
It's one of Emily's probably top 5 of all time.
The second game is called Voices in My Head. It's a game about your motivations in a courtroom, essentially, kind of stepping into the mind of someone on trial. I don't know anything about how this game plays, nor does Board Game Geek, considering Mechanism says team-based game.
I will say.
That's it.
Oh, so it's like co-op then, maybe. Or is it 2 teams against each other? So I will say one thing that caught my attention was that it's 3 to 6 players.
3 to 6 kind of like cuts you out entirely.
Yeah. So, I don't know, even the name of the game implies, I don't know, that you could maybe play it solo, like Voices in My Head.
That's true. It
like
does kind of feel weird,
but it's a game meant for a party group. Essentially,
I guess
3 to 6,
but it's a 2-hour game, 12 plus, like that. It does seem like a strange niche kind of.
But I mean, if this guy has the pedigree that he has, and I'm coming off of a high, loving the Initiative, that I think I'm gonna really like this game, or at least I'm willing to give it a try.
So I guess one person is going to be the prosecutor. And then someone else is going to be like the guy on trial. I don't know, but it does look interesting. I mean, it's by a publisher that's come out of the gate swinging, and a designer with a lot of good games on his pedigree, on his. Why do we keep saying that word? What's the word I'm looking for? Resume. As we try and deal with the dogs, the cat, the spicy food, we do need to move on to number 3, which. Unfortunately,
Oath.
We know very little bit about.
I mean, Ostia.
Ostia, Oath. It's published by Uchi Bakoya, designed by Tatsuka Chuo.
I love that name, Uchi.
I've never heard of this publisher, this designer, this game, yet it is all of a sudden...
It's compelling.
The art is
very 100%. Compelling. Compared to most of the games on this list, it's compelling. Is there anything that we can learn from this?
It has a Mancala system.
Oh, okay.
I think it just launched on Kickstarter. It looks really beautiful. It has like recess boards and printed player meatballs and stuff.
It does look very pretty.
Yeah.
I'm interested. That's about all I can say.
It's a gorgeous looking game. Like, really, really compelling.
It's difficult to say what this game is going to be, but...
I'm curious how well it's doing on Kickstarter. Because, I mean, it's obviously in the top 3 of the Hotness. It's got to be great. Oh, it's not currently on Kickstarter. 2 games left on the Hotness. 2 games that I can talk about, I think, a little bit. Not a lot, but like a little bit. Let's take another bite.
What if, challenge,
instead
of taking a bite, we take a swig of the juices?
Doolin...
You got to make a mash, you know? Just smashed in there.
My stomach hurts.
I think this might be easier on our stomach.
You have a blender? You just dump it in there.
Oh, that would be perfect.
Yeah.
This is like hard work, Doolin. Like, Max, I'm working hard right now.
I don't know if you understand how often I feel this way the opposite way.
What kind of hot sauce did you put in there?
It was ghost pepper wing sauce. Yeah.
You tried to play that off like it was nothing. That's better.
I feel like we're gonna have to force feed you.
I think you might have to.
Yeah.
So what are we doing? I don't have that much like juice. Like it's pretty thick.
Do you want some of my juice?
No, yeah. Bottoms up, bottoms up. I really might get sick, guys.
There was a commenter once who I saw say that they wanted us to do this live, and I shot that down. Oh.
No.
Oh.
No, I'm good.
And that's why. That's why we don't do this live.
I'm out of water.
And we still got 2 more games. All right, go ahead and start talking about the next one.
Okay, I want to start this one because I think in our first, maybe our second ever Board Game Geek Hotness, this game was on the Hotness.
Mm-hmm.
This game being Arc Nova by Capstone Games.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked at this game and I was like, this game is doing nothing for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like the art, the design, like what I can see. Obviously, I hadn't researched it, so like obviously I was just speaking on it from a fully like
face value
type thing. But it inspired me zero, zilch, nada. I am not lying when I say that Arc Nova is probably the single game that I am most anticipating and excited about right now.
Really?
Why?
What changed?
Very much looking forward to it. So the first and foremost thing that changed is that the reception around Arc Nova.
Yeah.
It has received wild praise, like absurd praise. People saying it's like already top 10 game of all time. Like it's amazing. It's a terraforming Mars killer. It's a this killer. Like people have loved this game. And it's not even out in the States yet. Wave 1 is shipping right now. Like you might get your copy right now. Number 2 is Hannah from our Discord, Furia.
Mm-hmm.
She plays this game, loves this game, and has played it like, maybe I'm speaking wrong. You can correct me in the comments, Hannah. But like the way that she talks about it, I feel like she's playing it like twice a week minimum. Like I think she's just getting to the table often. Like her and her boyfriend are loving Arc Nova. And so with her and just the general reception about the game, and although I said the theme and the art didn't really do much for me, this is the game earlier that I mentioned that I'm really excited about because it's very heavy, but I think it could be something that Danielle and I could play. Because it's about building your own zoo. Like, so this uses the art where it's just photographs, which I don't love. I like illustrations better. But like still, the theme about building your own zoo can be pretty compelling for a lot of different people, Danielle included. Like, I think that's something that really kind of intrigues us. Then there are the 2 mechanisms that I really like, which is the score tracks, how the game ends. So essentially you're going to be scoring on 2 different tracks, and when they meet, the game ends. So like a good score is like slightly positives or 0. Like that's like considered a good score. The negatives are going to be your losers. And then the biggest thing to me, and you can look at it right here, Doolin, I don't know how much you know about this game, is the action selection system. So you've got these 5 cards. These five cards are your actions.
Okay.
And as they move up from the leftmost to the rightmost space, they gain power. And when you use one, you move it to the bottom left. So if I want this card, the second card, if I want to play that card, but I want it to be stronger, I have to play the 3rd, 4th, or 5th card to push it up. And then I have to play the 3rd, 4th, or 5th card, or the 4th or 5th card to push it up. And if I want to get it to its last space, I have to play the 5th card to push it up to its most powerful ability, and then I use it. So like I really like the action selection system. Just like I can use this now, but it's the weakest. And I can use it over and over and over and over and over again, but it's the weakest it's going to be.
I like that.
And I'm never cycling through. So it incentivizes you to take different actions to try and boost up the other actions. That just sounds really interesting to me. And I've just done a completely 180 on this game. From being not at all intrigued, couldn't care less, too heavy for me, whatever, to like, I'm amped. Now, I will say, you ask what changed since, and I'm going to say one more thing. I'm going to shut up and let you guys talk. Since the last time we did the Hotness and this was on it, when I said I didn't care about it at all, I have gotten more into Euro games.
Yeah.
So I have played Orleans, Feast for Odin.
I played Agricola.
A lot. I've not played Agricola, but I played a lot on Board Game Arena. So yeah, just that type of game too has become more enticing to me.
Yeah.
But, okay, you all talk.
Those are still considered Euros, right? Feast for Odin's Euro game?
Oh,
okay.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I think I mentioned this one just because like I have not heard like one person like say bad things about it. It's just like been like universally praised.
I know you like Jeremy Howard.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's his top 10 of all time already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Love Jeremy Howard.
people just Oh, Tom Vassal's #1 game of all time.
Yeah.
It jumped to Tom Vassal's #1 game of all time.
What?
Yes. The man himself. No matter what you think about Tom Vassal, the man has probably played more board games than anyone else on this planet. And it is shot to his #1 game of all time when it's first coming out. He mentioned in the video, because I don't watch a lot of Dice Tower, nothing against them, I just don't watch them all the time. And he was saying something like he's played it like twice a week since he's got it. And like is absolutely just loving this game.
I gotta trust that guy because he has HeroScape in his top 10, which is controversial, and I agree. HeroScape's that good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was listening to the
very two different games.
podcast on the way up here. Mike DeLisi was saying that.
My nose is running so bad.
He was saying that Tom Vassal basically spent the whole weekend just at the Dice Tower cruise.
Yeah.
Just teaching this game. Like,
really?
I think he's really passionate about it.
So you've got like Roy Cannaday teaching his own game last night, and then you've got Tom Vassal like, come check out Ark Nova. I am hype for this game, like sincerely.
Yeah, I'm excited too because like a lot of people are comparing it to Terraforming Mars. I love Terraforming Mars, so to see like an improved version of that with like a nice theme.
Is this his
more
first
approachable
game
theme.
design
No way.
ever? Yeah, he's never designed a game ever.
He's gotta feel like the coolest person ever. Made a game and everyone loves it.
Yeah. Matthias Wiggy, by the way, is the guy, and it's published by Capstone, and it is just we got to take a bite. Sorry, I'm just too excited talking about Ark Nova. Like, I am so stoked, and you're gonna be the first person that gets it that I'm like near me. So you're gonna have to come down.
Yeah.
I wonder how
It does have solo mode.
I was about to say it says one player there. I wonder how the solo mode is.
No clue, but it does have a solo mode, which is exciting. But yeah, I'm just like. And there's been some complaints about randomness because it's in the same vein as Terraforming Mars, it has a giant deck of cards. So if you're looking for something in particular, it may never show. But that's just the way a lot of those games work. I mean,
we like
to sacrifice variability. Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Not that, but yeah, randomness and stuff we're cool with.
I love randomness in games.
Yeah, it's the best. If I'm not rolling a d6 to determine my fate, I don't want to play it. But anyways, I've rambled about this. Do you have anything to say?
I was just going to say that, like, you're right, that, like, weirdly enough, in these last few months, Max and I both have just opened our heart and our mind to Euro games. Like, Feast for Odin is probably, I say this all the time, so I don't want to overcommit, but I would say that it's definitely my top 30, close to top 20 games of all time.
Yeah, I love Feast for Odin.
It's great. I'm liking Agricola a lot. I'm liking, we've played a few more, like, Would All Hum? Not really. That's more like tile placement.
No. But, like, I've played quite a few, too, like... not necessarily even Euros, just like games that differentiate from what I'm used to playing.
Oh, yeah. Sure. Yeah.
And kind of like expanding myself a bit. Like Kenny and I have played a lot of Race for the Galaxy over the past 2 days. And like really like digging that.
Game's pretty good. It should be on the Hotness.
It should. A Feast for Odin, Castles of Burgundy. Yeah. We're in games of Castles of Burgundy all the time.
Tapestry?
Tapestry, I guess, is not a Euro. I wouldn't classify it as a Euro. But it is something different. El Grande is definitely a Euro.
Is it really?
Oh, yeah.
I would just call that, like, area control.
You could be a Euro and area control, right? Is El Grande a Euro? Maybe it's not. These things are all semantics, anyway.
Yeah, what is a Euro?
What is a Euro?
That's another video.
Actually, yeah, that should be a discussion. See, Euro typically means, like, something where it's, like, not direct confrontation. And I guess El Grande is
pretty direct.
Kind of direct confrontation.
Yeah. And also no randomness, right?
Yeah, there's no randomness in El Grande, though.
I don't think El Grande is.
There's a little bit of randomness with, like, what cards do you play and, like, what cards get flipped over.
I think El Grande suffers from actually looking like a Euro of the time of 20 years ago. Like,
that might be the case, yeah.
Dour looking.
That might be the case. Yeah. That might be the case. Oh, Trois.
Trois is like nothing but dice.
Well, it's still a Euro, though. I would classify Trois as a Euro.
I don't know what a Euro is.
In
the same way that for a while I didn't know what weight was on BGG, I have no idea.
He thought it was physical weight. he thought Gloomhaven weighed 3.4 pounds.
I didn't think that. I just thought that was what it meant.
Just because there are dice in it doesn't mean it's not a Euro. In Trois, you're not taking an action and then rolling dice to find the outcome. You have the dice available to you, and you're using the dice.
Would you consider a set of watch a Euro?
I've never played a set of watch, but no, I wouldn't consider it a Euro.
Same thing.
It sure don't look like a Euro.
It's the same thing as Trois.
We're not even talking about the hotness anymore. We're just on to... Okay, look.
I think we're all trying to not take that last bite.
Yeah, we need to take the last bite. I'm going to take a big bite for the last one.
Can I just say, I love that, like, we power through this and that Kenny's willing to do this, because
We can't have Kenny on anymore, though. He's making us look like fools.
At the beginning, it's hot. But by the end, you're just trying not to throw up.
Yeah. The end of these videos are really just like it's more of a challenge in endurance than anything else.
For sure. We need Emily on this.
Hey, cheers, guys.
I don't ever want to eat gumbo
not
again.
help.
I'm never going to make gumbo again.
Do you all know anything about this game?
I know a lot of people are talking about it. I haven't really looked into it that much.
It's the Wingspan Killer.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah. I don't know that to be true, bro.
I think the Kickstarter is going on right now if you want to go visit it.
It is currently happening. I mean, at time of recording.
I looked at it a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that the art is neat. It's not like my favorite.
It's just pictures, kind of like Ark Nova.
Yeah.
It's just pictures of things, but it's pictures of plants rather than animals, which is worse. So this game is a
I don't think it's
card
going to be a
game.
Wingspan Killer though.
I don't know either.
I think Wingspan's way too high.
Well, Wingspan's way too
It's
too
great.
mainstream. It's in freaking Target. Like, that's the difference between this and that. I am interested. There was a person in our Discord who did a really nice write-up of this. They played it on TTS. They kind of explained what they thought about it. Oh my gosh. I'm out of every liquid.
You know what? I think the key is I didn't have a drink of water this entire time. Maybe that's it.
Maybe that's the
You drank
problem.
Too much water.
I drank a whole giant mason jar and a cup of coffee.
On another level.
He is.
I guess so.
Anyways, Earth. Did we even say the name?
Yeah.
Did we?
Yeah, I thought.
I don't think we
Earth.
even said the name.
By who?
Inside Up Games.
Inside Up.
Maxime
What have they
Tardif.
done before?
I don't think they've done anything before. Okay, they have apparently. Summit?
Oh, something.
Oh, they do Summit.
Yeah.
We were just talking about Summit today because it was #1 on who is it?
Trey Parker's list.
Trey Parker from South Park. He did a top 10 board game geek of all. He did a top 10 board games of all time video with the Dice Tower.
Really?
And Summit was his #1 board game of all time.
Huh.
He's
Pretty, like-
very into board games.
Really?
Yeah, if you watched, yeah. Well,
Yeah. The thing about Earth that I've heard, which is different from Wingspan, is that they're similar. But from the person in our Discord who was so kind to do a write-up for us, Wingspan is very engine building. You have a row, that row activates when that row activates. And as far as my understanding of Earth is, you have a tableau. There's no specific, this must go here, this must go here, this must go here. And when you activate that card, you activate all cards of like that name and that color. And that could be anywhere on your tableau, not just a certain row.
Yeah.
And I believe that there's not asymmetric real time happening in the sense that if you activate purples, Kenny's also activating purples, and I'm also activating purples. So like you're activating as a table, not just as a sole person. But I think that that's going to appeal to different people in the sense that engine builders like Wingspan, although they're still very approachable and fun, they can have runaway problems if one person just builds an engine like in the first 5 turns and no one can, like it's just game over. Like I mean they can't catch up. Something like this being a little bit less restrictive may be a little more appealing to players that are a little newer, a little fresher, not necessarily like wanting to be as competitive. Not saying this can't be competitive, just from what I understand, it may be a little bit more lenient, I guess is the word I'm looking for, a little more open-ended. But I don't know a lot about it. I've heard Wingspan Killer, I've heard Terraforming Mars Killer, stuff like that. I don't know.
Really? Is everything just a Terraforming Mars Killer?
I think so.
Everybody's just looking to get it out of their collection.
To be fair, I have it, and I am looking to get it out of my collection. I've never played it, but I want to play it so I can sell it. Like, I have no intention of keeping it, especially with Ark Nova coming. Yell at me. Tell me if I'm wrong. Thanks, Kenny, for coming on the Hotness. I really wish that you would have faked it, though.
I know. I feel bad. Maybe I should have acted more. But it's just, you know.
The part of the hotness is that you're authentically you.
Yeah, we are being, like, totally genuine. I would not... If I was acting, I would have been way more calm and collected because I don't want you to show us up. But you have. Because this has been a nightmare scenario for me. But it's been fun.
I'm so happy, though, because last one I felt like Max just wasn't affected by most of my food. And
Well, come 4 and 5, I was.
That's fair.
But
those
yeah, the
baked
first
apples were awful.
Yeah. The first few games last time, I was just chilling, man. I thought that's what this was going to be today. I thought we were going to have a nice, relaxed conversation. Now my nose is running. My throat is bleeding. Like,
I do feel heartburn, you know? It's kind of
yeah.
I think we should have Kenny shoot a video later telling us how it all came out and how it affected him then.
I don't think we want that.